Hello everyone, welcome to the All Sports Booster Club. The presentation today is going to be about the rewards of athletics after high school. So many of you have students now who are in high school, who are participating in sports. And so one of the main things that I'd like to get across today is what can be benefited in the future by them participating currently in high school sports now. So the first thing I'd like to do is, congratulate each and every one of you for having your kids participate in sports. There's many different benefits to that other than the rewards that come in the future. Being able to stay young and healthy and active is definitely something that is difficult nowadays, especially with all the video games the kids are playing. They're sitting in school all day, so making sure they're active is a great job. So I'd like to congratulate all of you as parents for being able to do this. So congratulations on that. Now the next step is if your kid has been successful and is talented enough and wants to play on the next level, there are many opportunities available from them. So one of the main differences is the differences in divisions when you get into the college setting. So there's Division I, Division II, and Division III, and I'd like to quickly go over the differences between these so you can understand maybe where your son or daughter is going to best fit into the grand scheme of things. So the biggest difference is going to be at the Division I level. The majority of their college life is going to be spent participating and playing and practicing with the team. That's going to be the main thing they're doing. They are going to be going to classes, of course, and you want to make sure there's a balance, but it's almost like a full-time job playing sports at a Division I level in the college setting. Now, when you go to the Division II level, there's still going to be that emphasis on there, but I would say it may be more balanced because they're not going to have the national spotlights. They may not be playing these big-time games where they're going to be traveling all over the country almost every week to play in these games. So I'd say that there's going to have a chance for a little bit of a balance between the athletics and the academics. And then once you get into even the Division III level where there aren't per se just athletic scholarships where kids just go there and are really concentrating on sports, you're really going to have that great balance of academics and athletics. Again, not to say that they can't achieve academically at the Division I level, but the amount of time that's going to be spent in practices and studying taking games on the Division I level versus Division II and Division III, it's just not going to not allow as much time for your son or your daughter to spend academically. It's not to say that they can't succeed, but the time just won't be there for them to put what they maybe want into their academics if that's going to be really their primary purpose. So again, the Division I, you're going to have, I'd say, a little heavier athletic, still an academic balance. Division II, a little bit more balance. And then Division III, you really have an option as to how much time you want to put in athletics. If you just want to do a kind of more for fun and a hobby and do that and really concentrate on your academics and just do the athletics as something that you want to continue because you enjoy it and you love it. So just keep that in mind as we go through the rest of this presentation and try to understand where your son or daughter might fit in. And the biggest difference is too, scholarships. I know there's a lot of football players in here. They're parents of kids that are playing football and they're looking to get these scholarships at all these universities that are nearby and across the country. And one of the main things you have to realize is there's only so many spots. So as amazing and as talented as your son may be playing football at the high school level, there's a very big difference between what they're doing now versus what everyone in the nation is doing. I'm sure by now you have an idea if they're rated, 5-star, 4-star, and that as far as their position goes, and if they're being recruited by these bigger colleges or not. So taking into account the differences between Division I, II, and III, you may see where you think your son is talented enough to play at that level based on, again, the coaches, their numbers, and what schools they've been contacted from. So Now, keeping that in mind, let's move forward and discuss some of the biggest differences here between the Division One, Division Two, and Division Three as far as the scholarships and the financial awards and obligations between these different divisions in the NCAA. Now, the main thing you have to realize is that, again, Division One, NCAA, you're going to a lot of times be offered a full ride because their primary focus is going to be on participating in that sport. So if they're going to be playing football at a Division One level, or basketball, or baseball, or softball, or swimming, they're going to be spending a lot of time every week doing that. It's almost like a full-time job. So yes, you are going to be getting a scholarship if you are recruited and if you're offered one, and that again is going to pay for your tuition fees, room, board, and food. It's unfortunately not going to be paying for a lot of extra stuff. They're not going to be buying you televisions and cars and all these extravagant things that as parents you would like your kids to have. Some schools may give the kids a computer to study. Some schools may have other things they give them as far as use in sports, as far as iPods and things that they need to studying the plays, or iPads. But you have to remember, it's just going to be the basics that are covered. The school isn't going to just give them unlimited money to do what they want with, even at the Division One level. So it's almost like a job. They're putting in almost a certain amount of hours per week, participating in the games, representing the school. And because of that, they're going to be getting the scholarships. They're going to be getting their room, their board, their food, their travel, and all that, just as you would as working at a normal job. Now, once you go to the Division II level, there's a lot less full ride scholarships. You're going to see a lot of partial scholarships where maybe they give a kid who's pretty intelligent too, and is also good at, say, playing football or baseball or volleyball, and wants to continue that, they'll give them a scholarship to come to the school to play the sport, and because they also want them there academically. So you're going to see more of that balance come into play. And then it gets even bigger on the Division III level, where you have some schools that are trying to recruit the really, really top smart kids, and the kid's like, hey, I want to keep playing this sport, or I want to do this, and they're like, okay, here, come to this school and we'll give you this scholarship, and you can still continue to play track and field, or you continue to play baseball or football on this Division III level, but we're going to give you all the opportunities you want to succeed academically, which a lot of times is where the kids that are looking to go to those levels are interested in doing. So just keep that in mind as we go ahead, and just again try to visualize where now your son or daughter might be and where you would like them to go. So every parent here has a kid that's they're all individuals, a different talent level. They're interested in going to different schools. They have different academic things they would like to achieve when they get to school, and there's different financial obligations. So just because you want your kid to get a full ride to a Division I school doesn't mean it's going to happen. There are a lot of competition between kids, not only locally, but across the entire country, trying to get scholarships at the Division I level. A lot of kids have spent a lot of time, a lot of hard work, paid, their coaches, they've put in their time in the weight room, and they want to get that Division I scholarship. But remember, it's only for a few people. But again, one thing I would try to emphasize is, if you're not getting offered these Division I scholarships, the other things you can definitely do is go to the coaches and see if maybe if your son or daughter has achieved academically, if they can put together that dual scholarship. Because there are a lot of opportunities for that at the Division II, Division III levels. If you don't have the money to send the kid to college right away, you do an academic and athletic dual scholarship where the kid wants to come in, and then maybe they can even give you some help with financial aid, or some setup on room and board. So that's one of the main things I would like to address. And the other thing I would like to address is the idea of getting paid to play. Unfortunately, right now I've seen a few studies where, say, Duke basketball players or Texas football players, they're saying an estimated on the free market would be worth somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million that they could earn per year if it was an open market. Unfortunately, that's not the case right now. The only thing these kids are allowed to accept at the Division I NCAA level is a scholarship. So if you get a full scholarship, you're not allowed to have jobs. You can't be doing a lot of stuff on the side to earn money. The school wants you focused on your job or your sport, And that's essentially all you're going to be doing. You know, they're not going to be giving you extra money for stuff, and you can't earn that extra money. Essentially, you're just working for them for the however long you keep your scholarship, and then you go from there. If you are looking to have your son or daughter have another job while they're in college, it'd be a lot better to look at the Division II or Division III level, where that's something that isn't going to influence the scholarship, depending on what they're offered. So, again, thank you very much for listening to my presentation today. I hope this helped all of you put into perspective again where your son or daughter is at athletically, academically, and where you are financially, and how you can fit this into the big picture, which is college, and succeed, as I know all of you would love to have your sons and or daughters do. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.